Right. Okay, family. Welcome, welcome. Sorry about not having our normal intro music going for you guys. I had to use my regular computer today. And for some reason, Zoom is not letting me share my screen. And unfortunately, it wasn't something I could troubleshoot fast enough. Sifu, come into the frame. Come on. Come on over, buddy.
Hello.
All right. It was good to see you all. I'll see who's on here in a moment. I just wanted to say hi real quick and welcome you guys to our live Q&A. I think Clint and Donovan are coming back from eating pizza and will hopefully be here for at least part of this show. If not, I think they're coming back for the members only Q&A. So we do have some Inner Shaolin members in the house. Hopefully they don't go into pizza carbotose, you know what I mean? So they said they were just eating one slice, but it might be so good they might change their mind. So if you haven't already, family, let us know where you're coming in from. Go ahead and let us know in the chat where you're coming in from, and also let us know if you have any questions for us this week. What else did I want to share with you guys? I'm sure it'll come to me. I wasn't expecting the technical difficulties, so my ADHD brain is like, why is that happening? I'm going to let that go. We're just going to move on from that. Besides our members in from town, from Florida, what else is going on? I think that's about it. Besides, we're just, prepping the space and starting to sell things that we don't need and stuff for the move and everything that's coming up at the end of August. And for those that are like, hey, where are you guys going to be? For a little bit, we're not going to have a studio, but eventually we will again. It's just a matter of finding the right place and having financial things get into place to be able to do that. So we're still going to be doing our live streaming with you guys. We'll just be doing it from the comfort of our home. So it'll be a little bit more intimate, a little bit different background going on, but we still will be meeting with you guys live at least once a week, weather permitting, of course. All right, Seafood, do you have anything to share with everyone while we're getting ready?
Well, there's a question here.
Oh, we already have one?
Yes.
All right. Let's see. We got Caesar on coming in from Cali, and Gregory says, hello, Sifu. Could you explain again for us adults? It's okay. You don't have to call yourself adult. The difference between turning to the point and turning to the wrist, or have I misunderstood?
I think you misunderstood. You turn from the wrist to the point. That's what it is. So in order to turn, the wrist has to make the turn. Wrist is the ability to convert energy, control energy. Arms are the ability to create energy, create structure, create intent. So we turn from the wrist to the point of contact. So no matter what I do, I will always, always, always turn my wrist, but I don't always have to make contact with my wrist. So wherever the contact point is, wherever the arm point is on the arm, if I'm hitting around here, then I will turn the wrist to make that point hit that target from the contact point from the opponent. So you always turn from the wrist to the point of contact. So that's really how it's designed to work.
All right. Let us know if you need any further clarification on that. John says, didn't I get any notification y'all came on for some reason? Well, we sent out emails earlier. I sent it about an hour before we went live. So I don't know if YouTube didn't send out the notification or whatnot, or maybe I tripped it out from going live from the computer instead of the laptop. I don't know. But we're here and we're glad you're here. And maybe that's why we don't have our normal bunch on yet. So hopefully more people will roll on and see that we're here. Let us know if you have any questions. We are having the members only webinar later, and I'm hoping Donovan and Clint do come back from pizza so they can say hi to everyone. I don't think I have any other office stuff for you guys and gals, so let us know what questions you have. Caesar, do you have any questions, brother? I see we also have some other people watching and lurking in the background. Feel free to come out. It's safe. It's okay. We don't bite. Well, Sifu might bite you if that's the only other alternative, if you're grappling him. I've heard stories, but I can't confirm or deny I wasn't there. Caesar sent us some super chat love. Tai Chi breakdown, lean forward form and application, please.
All right, so in Tai Chi, we talk about this part here, into here, and this is the lean forward, okay? I don't like the term lean forward because it makes people think they tilt. I'd rather call it shift forward. So our goal is not to lean, it's to shift the weight. So I don't know why they call it lean, but that's what it is. I just go by what they say. So lean forward is basically a pressure from the arm, anything that comes from the arm directly to the elbow. So if you're talking about the whole sequence of move like this is designed so like if she were to come punch me, like here, I can move that into the arm. So she's like this, I can just go into that. Okay,
Right
that's
into the
one
neck.
that's one way of doing it. This part, what we do this, where we're doing this, if she's grabbing my arm,
Okay.
it takes me, so I can now and use that to bridge over. So I'm actually doing this part like she's grabbing me.
Okay.
I go like this, I go here, pressing to her, and then I can shift weight into that strike. So that's basically the fundamental principle. Like I said, wherever the pressure is on my arm, I am turning the wrist so that way it can roll the point. So if she's grabbing here, I don't want to push, pull her like this. I'm actually just hold me tight. I'm just turning the wrist. And again, I can plate the pressure along the arm to put the pressure. Again, I'm not kind of try to take her off. I want to put the pressure back into her arm. So you can see it, I'm putting the pressure into her arm this way. I want to take it, that pressure with the wrist, directing the energy up. This hand here will press towards that, hyperextend the elbow. So I want to send the energy towards my wrist, rotate it here. So the pressure is going back into her shoulder. If I go like this and I go like this, I'm going against her grip. So I can't lift the arm up. See, I'm pushing the energy towards her hand. This way, this way, this way. I want to snake it towards my palm. So I'm pushing towards my palm. Then rotate again. I can put the pressure in here, make her body turn like this, and again press on, and then just move that body part in there. So that's, like I said, that's one. On a punch, she can, like say, throw a punch. I said I can do this way in here and just bring that in. She went for a grab here, bring that in. So again, it's just any energy along the arm. I want to connect to it. I just want to converting it like this, and just again roll that all over, and then you can take the elbow into the strike. That's the basic principle of lean forward. Which I said I don't like lean forward. That term.
Apparently, that's not bad term. Good application. Yes. All right. Let's see, Matthew. Can you turn up the volume? Sifu Larry. They're saying they asked.
Oh, that's because my mic wasn't on. My mic is on now.
Oh no. Well, do you want to quickly go over that again? Were you able to hear it okay, or should we reiterate? But apparently that's why. No. It was because he didn't have his mic on. You kind of missed.
Something.
Just making sure.
See, I asked you to do a mic check. He's like, yeah, everything's good. Everything's good, except for Seafood didn't have it on. It's okay. All right. So let us know if we need to go over that again. But it looks like most of you got the download still. Let's see. Got the email. It sends a ding to my phone when you go live. Yeah, I don't know. I know Sifu's phone went off when we went live, so I don't know why YouTube discriminated against you today, John. It just said, I don't want you here. But you were like, hey, I know they're going live, so you're here anyway. So what now, YouTube? Huh? All right. Gregory said, thank you for that. How much of the turning to point is involved in channeling?
Well, when you turn your wrist, I tell my students all the time, the maximum you're allowed to turn your wrist is actually about 2 inches. And the reason why is because that's about the width of your wrist. So that's the most you're allowed to turn your wrist. Now, the goal is to turn it smaller. So our goal is not to make a 2-inch move every time, but that is the maximum you're allowed to turn. You want to make it small. The goal is to turn to the point of contact as fast as you can. So when we're like this, so here is our contact point right here. So contact points are all along where she's gripping me. So I can actually use any point along her grip. For example, she grabs me, she pushes into me. I can push it into her this way and turn the wrist to make this wrist here to turn to make this pivoting point right here along the arm right here to connect. So she's pushing in. I can make it like this and make that. I can make it this way and take it this way and that way. So I can always turn where the contact point is. So it's not this one specific point. It's where the contact point is. Now, the turning of the wrist is actually where you want to move as small as possible. What I mean by that is we don't want to try to make the arm move in a lot of places. So my goal is to hit the point of contact as fast as I can versus like this is like she's grabbing me, she's pushing me. I go right here, that's it, as fast as I can. Okay? Versus Like you see that you don't want to be that big of a movement. There are people who do this and they'll go like this. Okay, you see how big that arm is moving here. That is not a 2-inch turn. That's like a 12-inch swing. And we think we're turning the wrist, but we're not. We're actually swinging the shoulders. In order to turn your wrist, you got to turn from your wrist. So people who do, I've talked to people before who always tell me that they turn the wrist, and they're not. They're not turning from the wrist. Their wrist is moving as a result of the shoulder turning. So, like I've had somebody tell me, we do turn the wrist, and they'll go like this.
No.
And that's not turning the wrist, that's moving the arm. In order to turn the wrist, you have to turn from the wrist. This is turning your wrist like this. So that's a rotation of the wrist, articulation. There are 6 points in your hands that you can turn from, okay? 3 in the palm, which is the thumb, the center, the pinky side, and 3 in the back, which is the pinky, the center, and the thumb side. So these are the position in which you can turn your wrist from. There are 6 points in that. So our goal is to try to turn within like a quarter inch or smaller, because the longer you take your movement, the more time you give them to respond. So when she's like, grab my hand, like I said, if I go like this, I try to do this, that is not a 2-inch turn from the wrist, even though I think they're here.
They're back. Yay.
I think that they are, that I'm turning my wrist. I'm really not. I'm doing somewhat turn my wrist with a combination of swinging my shoulders. I can do the exact same move where I can take the pressure off right here, turn it. It's going to be tighter. So it doesn't matter. So I base turn and it comes off. So it's not about me trying to get this because I think I'm turning my wrist. I'm not. And the biggest way you can know is like, how do I know if I'm turning from my wrist or not? Think of your hand, and I tell myself, you have to be the head of the snake, not the tail of the snake. If you're going like this, do I look like I'm leading or look like I'm following? Right? When I go like this, do I look like I'm leading or look like I'm following? So you have to lead the wrist to make the turn. You can't follow with the wrist to make the turn. So if you are making hands like I'm going like this, do I look like I'm leading or look like I'm following? Versus do I look like I'm leading or look like I'm following? You can see the energy drive towards the palm versus the palm driving towards the elbow. So if I go like this, I'm not driving towards my hand.
Right.
I became the snake with a tail end. Whereas I go like this, I'm the head of the snake. So you have to turn and lead with your wrist to turn. A lot of people use it as a tail, and that's why it won't work. I'm like, it doesn't work. It's not that it doesn't work, it's that you didn't make it work. Often, if the technique is sound and it's right in its terms of principles, often it's not the technique that failed you, it's that you failed the technique. Okay, you can have the world's most powerful gun. If you can't aim and hit your target, you're going to sit there and say, oh, this gun stinks, it's no good, it's no good. When in all actuality, the gun shoots true. It's just, you're the bad target. You're the bad shooter. So the same thing. If you do the wrist right, it works. It works pretty much every time. Unless the guy can counter torque you, you can get out. And I've done demonstrations where I get all the biggest people I can, and I have them do anything they can to basically knock me down, break through my structural integrity, try to hit me and stuff like that, try to push me. All kinds of demonstrations I do where I let the biggest, strongest guys that's there use anything they can by any means to try and stop the objective of what I'm doing, and they can't. Because again, we're not about fighting the pressure, we're about converting the pressure. 0 times any number is always 0, so it doesn't matter the size of the person, it doesn't matter the strength of the person. It's a matter of all about the control. Control comes from the wrist, not from the arms. And when people do like this, they do this, they think they're turning the wrist. They're not. They're actually using your arm. Arms cannot control energy. It can only create energy. Wrist is the only one that control energy. And so when they start doing like this, like I said, I've met teachers who go, oh, I know how to turn my wrist. Like, we turn our wrist. Like, you're not turning the wrist, you're swinging your arm. You have to turn from your wrist, not move the arm and make the wrist look like it's turning. The wrist is actually following the arm here, versus this wrist is leading the arm. So you have to lead from the wrist, not follow from the wrist. Hope that answers your question.
All right. Well, guys, Clint and Donovan are back. I was worried that you guys might have went into pizza carbitos, but glad to see you're still here. Good to see you. So I was like, oh man, I don't know. They went to go get pizza. This could be bad, guys. All right. So they're still munching. So hopefully you guys will get to meet them before this live is up. We shall see. Let me go through here. John says, I'm on the advanced push-up training and the monthly training that he's talking about for our core training section. And still, OMG, this is a workout. Can you love and hate a workout? Yes, absolutely you can. You can hate the pain and love the results, right?
You can love to hate it and hate to love it.
Yeah. All right. So, and it was still good. Yes, absolutely. Matthew says it's better. Currently our studio is in Williamstown, New Jersey, but we have to leave this location at the end of August. So, and we don't know where we're going yet. So, for a while, I don't know if you were at the beginning, we're going to be doing our live streams from our homes and stuff like that until we can find a space that makes sense for Inner Shaolin. So, that's where we're at currently. So, we're in South Jersey, is the short of it. All right, so Ankh says, can you make more videos about the Rattan Ring? We do have more videos on the Rattan Ring inside the membership site at innershaolin.com. I did take down the access if you're not currently a member, but if you reach out to me, I might be able to get you in where you can have access to the full training call. If you ask nicely, we'll see. Email me at support@innershaolin.com and I'll see what I can do for you. Gregory says, wow, a lot of info in a short time. All I have to do is watch over and over again. Yes, and that's the beautiful thing about video training, right? Is you guys can keep coming back and rewatching it. If you're part of innershaolin.com, that's the beauty of why our members get stuff a lot faster because they're revisiting the stuff over and over again. You don't have to go, what did Sifufu say? I think it was this. And then you find out later you were wrong. You can go, let me rewind this video, right? And go double check. And then you can get it 10 times better. That is the benefit for sure. All right. Gregory says, did you say you are moving to Florida? No, I said our members are from Florida. I'm from Florida too, but they came from Florida to visit us. Don't know if I'd want to go back home. Most of my family sadly is gone, but I'm not opposed to it if that is God's will. But He has not told me I'm supposed to be back there yet. So, but yeah, I am from Florida. They are from Florida. We're not moving to Florida, at least that we know of. So I'll keep.
I went to Florida, if that helps.
But yeah, that's what I said. I said our members are in town from Florida. All right, family. Let us know what other questions you guys have. If not, do you guys have some questions from this week that you'd like us to share? Let's mull that over.
We have new people to beat up.
Steve Larry says we have new people to beat up, so just let us know how you would like them to hurt. No, I'm kidding. All right, do you have a mini lesson maybe from today, something that came up a lot in the training from the live session for the public class?
Well, I can. Does anybody have any lesson they want me to
Any
focus
requests?
on? Any requests? Do you have any problems with punching, interception? Feel, like my hips hurt when I punch. My shoulders hurt when I punch, something like that. I can break it down and help you out with that. So if there's any request, put it up. I can do that. If not, I can do something. But I prefer to, like I said, do something that you guys like to focus on, so it can be constructive to help you guys.
Yeah, let us know. Gregor says, I have a great respect for NDN. How old is it? Well, Inner Shaolin's been around for the past 11 years, but you've been working on the NDN system.
I am 25 years old, so I'd say around 5 years. No.
Did you already have, I guess you started working on the concepts of it.
Well,
later
NDN
on.
came about probably like maybe, I'd say about, what was that? Ed Sheldon's like 11, 12 years old?
Yeah, 11 years old.
I'd say about
Maybe
13, 14, 15
15?
years old, somewhere
Yeah.
between there. NDN is always growing, it's always evolving in terms of how I break it down to teach it. In terms of understanding it, I've understood it for quite some time now. NDN is all about energy, how to control energy. I learned new ways to express energy, new ways to teach, to further explain to people how to break it down better, to get the science behind it. For example, just the basic understanding of structural integrity. Like I'm saying this, which probably if I say it, I'm gonna have to wind up doing it. But it really, what makes NDN different from other systems is the fine line of what we do versus what they do, is the misconception into what we do. For example, like the one thing is like, can one resist, right? And most people, when they fight, they have resistance to them. And do we resist? Yes, we do resist. But the fine line to what we do and most people do is we do resist, but we resist passively. Most people resist actively. And that's what makes us different from everybody else. We don't try to overcome pressure, we maintain pressure, and the difference we convert. That's what passive resistance is. And it's a fine line where people can actually go from passive to active resistance. People punch, mainly most people say they throw the shoulder behind it, throw the shoulder behind it. We don't. We don't say that because that's size based, that's strength based. We actually learn how to put the wrist behind our strike, not the shoulder behind the strike. The shoulder is an indirect pressure that creates a strike. It is not direct pressure that creates a strike. So we go from shoulder, elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist to point of contact. That is how we generate our power. If I'm going to hit you with my forearm, my elbow, I still hit you with my wrist. I don't hit you with my elbow. The elbow is the contact point in which I make the transfer the energy, but it's my wrist that focuses that energy into that. In this case, the elbow to make the contact. So there's always its fine lines. We don't push, we don't pull, we don't do any movements like that. We do pressing. So there's a lot of differences like that. Contact point for us is not pushing point; it's pivoting point. Like these are the fine lines that what makes NDN different from a lot of other systems. We control energy through the wrist. We don't do it through the arms. We put pressure through the arms. We control through the arms. So all these fine lines that makes NDN different. So we follow along the same kind of line course. And it's like, well, here's a guy who likes to use strength, but he's active. He's on this side. We're passive. We're on this side. And we can meet here and can look the same. But when you understand the difference, there is a huge difference between the two. So for us, there's that fine line. And so NDN has been around for like 15 years probably. And it's always been refining, getting better
Always
and better
evolving.
and better. In terms of how I teach it, not in terms of, I discovered a new thing. I understood it about 15 years ago. I understood how the energy works and everything, but I've taken the last 15 years how to express it better, how to break down the more
Different acronyms,
acronyms, rhyming principles, stuff like that. So breaking down the energy for people in a much more easy to understand way. Like for example, people do huns like this in most Wing Chun systems. Okay, our huns are like this, and you're like, if you're looking at it for the first time, you're like, I don't see the difference. There is a difference between this and this. So if you don't know the difference, then that's because you don't know NDN. This has no value. Okay, you see Wing Chun teachers teach out, and they'll literally tighten their wrists and they just do that. And when they're asked that question, they're like, "Oh, it's the get the wrist flexible." It's like I was just telling Clinton Donovan the other day. I was like, it's garbage. They can't say, "Well, I don't know what it's for," because they're going to look and sound stupid. So they give you the stupid answer that it's a flexibility of the wrist, which is it's not. Because the reason why they have to say it's for flexibility has no value in combat. This does. This has value. This has no value. And so they can't say why it's used because there is no use for it. So they say, oh, it's flexible, but this is proper. This is a proper Hunsao. This is not a proper Hunsao. It's bad. Like I said, it doesn't have value. So those, like I said, there's the little things that we do that makes a huge difference. Like we generate a base. People always have what they call the immovable elbow. They create this base, but a true base has to have a drive behind it. So if you base and you don't have a drive, you create a false base. It won't work. Techniques will fail you under stress, under pressure. A true base has to have a drive. A true drive has to have a torque. So when people start doing that and bring the elbows in like this, and they always fail under pressure because a true base has to have a drive. So when they bring the elbows in, they don't have a drive, they break under pressure because there's no forward energy. It actually is going in, the elbow starts dropping, so the pressure just builds into them. So true base has to have a drive, true drive has to have a torque, true torque must always turn to point of contact. That is known as three proof. Right, so without three proof, the arms actually have to muscle through pressure. They cannot control pressure. So you better hope that you're faster, stronger than the guy, so you can prevent him from using strength against you if he's stronger than you. And so a lot of schools will say, "Oh, you got to go faster, you got to go harder." So their answer is to prevent him from using his strength. Whereas for us, it's like, well, what happens when he does? We learn how to deal with it. We don't try to prevent it. We can deal with it if it comes at us. So can we prevent it? Yeah. If we're going to hit faster, harder than the guy, sure. I'm not going to say don't. You have to feel it all the time. But what happens when he does put pressure on you? What happens when he can put that force and the strength on you? Now what do you do? Well, you got to go faster, you got to go harder. So he can't. It's like, no, you're playing the preventative game. You're not learning how to deal with pressure. You're learning how to prevent pressure. And the problem is when you have to deal with it, you don't have the tools, capability, experience to do that. We teach you how to do that. And again, 3 proof is the key to controlling energy, creating pressure, and generating power.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see. John has a question for later for the members only. Awesome. And he also said that he's also 25 years old.
Yeah!
uh, John also said, and when you get the 3 proof down, you will see an extreme improvement in how much damage you are doing with little effort. And that's the biggest thing. When you do it right, there's no feedback going into your body. And it literally feels effortless. Like it's like the weirdest thing. You're like, why are you over there, crying or looking like you just want to die and in so much pain? What did I even do? You're looking at your hand like I barely did anything, and it feels way different to the end user. So, so it's definitely all about that. Gregory said Tesla 2035 AI Wing Chun Indian robot dummy for training. I could be wrong. No, thank you. I'm not interested. That's like bring it in Terminator. I'm not down. So that's gonna be a no for us. Okay, just throwing that out there.
The difference in how we
Might be so
strike and
dangerous.
power. Okay, a lot of people hit. They do what we call compression hit. They hit and they try to break through the surface tension area of where you make contact. We don't do that. We do piercing hits. We are not here to break the surface area. We're focusing energy to one single point. So the best analogy I give us is like most people hit like a 2x4. You swing that, bam, it can hurt. But the problem is a guy's strong. He can withstand it, and it can even possibly strong enough. Maybe it could create damage on him, but he might be able to take it. But he'll break the 2x4 if his legs strong and swing hard enough, and it's the right pressure, right angle. He can just take that 2x4 and just withstand it. Okay, and that's the problem. The bigger, stronger the guy is, the more he'll take. We hit like a 2x4 too, but with a 9-inch nail sticking out of it.
Ow.
That's the difference in how we strike when we do kicking, when we do punching. We hit like a 2x4 with a 9-inch nail sticking out of it, as opposed to a 2x4. Bruce Lee liked to use the analogy like someone's hitting with a baseball bat. We hit like a nunchaku. We have a chain in the middle where the energy is free to flow. It is the same idea. Just think like that, like a nunchaku with a 9-inch nail sticking out of the end of it, if you want to think of it that way. The method is the same way. When I'm talking about the 2x4, I'm talking about it's not the force alone in which you create the strike with. It is the energy of focus that makes the big difference. Me hitting this way versus me hitting this way. This has a stronger energy concentration point. So the surface tension per square inch is a lot higher at a smaller rate, and it could do more damage. So our job is never to really try to move the size. I always tell the students, you never attack the size, okay? Because you attack the size of the guy, the bigger he is, the more you have to attack.
Right.
You always focus on 1 square inch. Whether you hit him in the chest, whether you intercept him with the arm, our goal is never attack the size of the person. Our goal is to attack 1 square inch. Because whether he's 100 pounds to 500 pounds, 1 square inch is still 1 square inch. Yeah. It's like a bullet. Like I tell people, like a bullet doesn't look like, oh, he's so big, I don't know if I can go through him. It concentrates your energy at a single point. When it hits, it will put a hole in someone because it'll go through them because it's not compressing the body, it is piercing the body. So it's the same idea when we do hitting. We focus the energy to 1 single point when we hit. That creates the damage, which is why it's way more powerful. It's like getting hit with an ice pick. I like to tell my students all the time, look, if a guy can take like an ice pick to his face, then he can take our punch. Like it has no value. Because if someone sticks him with an ice pick in the face, like, yep, nothing. And I was like, yep, then we can't do anything either. But like I said, who can take an ice pick in the face though? Then when we hit, it's the same fundamental idea. A lot of people try to do pressure where they're trying to overcome the mass, overcome the surface area, overcome the force of the opponent. Our job is to break that 1 single point, which is the 1 square inch. It's not about overcoming the force of the guy. It's our concentrated energy to the single point. Okay, can you guys not hear me?
Who said that?
Someone said sound is too low, people.
Wasn't that earlier?
No, right here, just now.
Oh, I don't know. Everyone else can hear us okay. I got Seafood Larry checking on his computer, so you might want to check your settings.
Can you guys hear us?
We're together. Well, we're not.
We're not together.
We're family, but not like that. Okay, but thank you.
She's like my sister, but the annoying kind.
Right back at you, big brother.
I'm not your sister.
I said big brother. See, he's not listening. He can't be 25. It's a little hard of hearing. You know what I
What?
mean? All
I'd be
right.
mad, but I forgot what you said.
Oh, and sorry, I didn't realize on my phone I'm logged in on my personal account. So Caesar, read the comment from Jamie Polize about the email. It's all in one now. I'm not sending out separate emails. It's one email because the link in it goes to a locked out page for members only. But it's the same link it always is. So if you have that saved or go to any of your prior, emails from before, it's the same link. It's always the same link. But I can't tell you what that link is because then other people can get access to it that are not members. Are any sisters not annoying? Are any brothers not annoying? Let's be real here. I think siblings are just annoying in general. So let's see. Any other questions and comments? I don't have any. Okay, that's done. That's done. Yep. I have 3 of them. I just have one brother, and yeah.
Oh, brother.
If my parents were alive still, they would tell you that he was the more annoying one, but I digress. So he might still be the more annoying one, but there's that. But yeah, I've heard having multiple sisters is rough. I can't attest to it though, because I just had a brother, sadly. So me, I am not. I am awesome. I believe you, John. I believe you're awesome. I don't believe you're 25 though. So sorry about that part. But
That's the annoying side of her.
did I tell the truth? Oh, it is what it is.
Perception.
The truth hurts sometimes, y'all. Let's see. Any other questions and comments, family? We got about 10 more minutes before we got to wrap it up with our members only. Remember, we got Clint and Donovan, and, ask some questions because, they could use the experience. So you guys are very quiet today. Epic. Sifu had many siblings, good martial practice between them, and sparring partners. Is that true?
I have 3 brothers and 1 sister. I'm one of 5. My brother's never trained.
Yeah, I was gonna say they
My
didn't really
sister-
train.
It's funny. I'll tell you a story with my sister. She's like only this tall, but she's like feisty and she's like very aggressive. And she's like, I took my brother on. My brother's the youngest, but he's like 6'2". He's like 225, 230 pounds. So big. And one day she's like, she wrestled my brother, and my brother had a hard time taking her. And she's telling me like, why don't you take me on? I can take you. I was like, nah, that's okay. And she's like, no, you have no idea how good I am. Like, I'm very feisty. I'm like wiry. I'm very strong. You can't imagine how strong I am.
She should
blah
have
blah blah.
She should have
And
trained.
I was like, nah, that's all right. She's like, well, look, my baby brother's name's Kang, and she's like, you ask Kang, like he tried to wrestle me, and he had a very hard time trying to get me at all. And I was like, fine. Went to wrestle, like, let me know when you're ready. She's like, go, boom. Within half a sec, boom, she was on the floor down, and it was over. She's like, oh my gosh! She couldn't believe how quick I was.
That's
I'd taken her down, and all her strength was availed to nothing. Every time she put any strength, I just shut her down.
Like, see, this is the difference between the brother that trains and the brothers that don't.
My brother's bigger than me. I'm like 5'9" and a half, 5'10". My brother's like 6'2", and I'm like, well, back in the day, I was like 160, 170. My brother's like 220, 230. So he has size on him, and but size don't mean nothing. Like I said, I know how to control energy. That means nothing to me. 0 times
That's
any number is
hilarious.
0. I don't use my strength against the opponent. They can't apply it on me. They can try to put the pressure on me, but I'll always be able to convert it.
Right on. So yeah, so he wasn't sparring and fighting his siblings and stuff like that. That'd have been really cool, right? That'd have been really fun. John says, well, almost 25 twice. So you are like Sifu Larry then. All right, got it. All right, we have another. It's probably like my PC is on max on sound. When we have a true relationship, you don't have to be a couple, and sometimes maybe friends can be better partners than intimate partners. Okay, bro. I don't know. Our sounds are good on other devices and stuff. I'm not sure what's going on where you're at in the world. Maybe it's I don't know, an internet problem or whatever. Caesar says, I checked the spam and it's not there. I'm sorry, Caesar. I'm not sure why it didn't get to you, but it got to other people. So, but if you have any of the prior week ones, let me know. If not, I'll send you an email with the link because it's the same link. Wink, wink, wink. Okay, same one. And save it next time. Just save it to your bookmarks. And then you can always go back to it in case for some reason you don't get an email. Hopefully, you're the only person that didn't get the email. Hopefully so. Let's see. I know it's off topic, but just sharing. A big fan of Wing Chun and Tai Chi. I work in logistics, so I hardly find the time for it, but I do have a passion and keep it. Well, it's not really off topic when talking about Kung Fu, Wing Chun, Tai Chi, so it's actually very on topic. So sorry that you don't get to train as much as that you would like to and stuff like that, but hopefully you will find more time in the future to do what you love. All right. Well, family, if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and end this live early so we can prep for the members only Q&A because that's right around the corner. And Caesar, I will just send you a link just to be on the safe side because it sounds like maybe you can't find a prior email too. So I will take care of you. John says, I have to save one file every once in a while. I have to go to an old one to get it. You know, it's good to have a backup of a backup for sure, John. Absolutely. All righty. Well, family, it looks like we have answered the questions, so we are good. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We will see you guys and gals next week, fam. And members, we'll see you in a little bit. All right, family. See ya. Peace out, and thanks for joining us. God bless.